Hey everyone, welcome back to I'm Dad channel. So today we are going to build a dashboard using the tool Power BI. So it is a data visualization tool, and let's see how we are going to build a Zomato application. Contains a lot of data, and how we are going to build it across our Power BI tool.
So next we have our data set ready. So we have a data set collected from Zomato. So with it has a particular sets of the restaurant ID, the restaurant name, what are the cuisines, where is the restaurant, what is the average cost for two, the currency. So all over the world the restaurants we have relatively a high amount of records. Plus, we also have whether the restaurant has a table booking, online delivery, is it delivering now, whether switch to order menu, price ranges, aggregate rating, the rating color, rating text, and how many votes for each restaurant. So everything has been given on the Zomato dataset. I will be putting this dataset in the description below for to build the dashboard. Next, we have another CSV which contains the country code. So such as if one is the country code, we have India as the country. So this is to merge with the Zomato data, whereas we have the country code given in the Zomato data, and we have not given any country name. So we have to merge this through the Power BI. So moving on first to the Power BI. Okay, first we are going to load both the uh, files into our Power BI. So first we open Power BI desktop, then we click on transform data. Click on transform data. We have a window which is going to pop out. Maximize it. Then we are going to add a new source. So where you have saved your data, so I have saved it on my desktop on a data folder. So I have one CSV and one Excel file. So the country code is the Excel file and Zomato is the CSV file. First I'm loading Zomato, the CSV, and I'm pressing on OK. Yes. So I have been loaded my data. So next is the Excel workbook that I'm going to load the country code. So these all are the pre-processing set. So for Excel workbook, which sheet, so the first sheet will be loaded along with it. So both the data is in Power BI now. So first we have to see for null values, and the pre-processing steps are very important. Moving on to we could see itself, it shows error, so we can remove the errors. So once the error is removed, we can also see empty, the null values, so that also we can remove the null values. So this applies for all the columns. So once everything is removed, we can see which are the columns is required for to use. So today I'm not going to just focus a lot about address, locality verbs, longitude and latitude. So I'm going to remove these columns by Control Shift, clicking off all these columns one by one, and right click and remove columns. So once these are removed, we can we'll be having, we can also undo this step if you think that you require that columns. by clicking on this cross mark, but for now I don't require those columns, the address of the, so this is basically a small dashboard that I'm going to make. Next we have the cuisines. So cuisines for each, Le Petit Souffle is a restaurant name where we have French, Japanese and dessert and so on. So these cuisines could be also separated. So since it is separated by comma delimiter, we can split this into a column. So this is required so that we can see which cuisines will be the best working cuisines, or worst performing cuisines could be identified along with this. So moving on to, we can press split column, then we split by the delimiter. So we select as comma on each occurrence of the delimiter and we give as okay. So all the cuisines has been spreaded. So for example, the same restaurant is going to have Japanese cuisine as cuisine 1, cuisine 2 and cuisine 3. And cuisine, some restaurant has cuisine 4 also. But there are also restaurants which does not have a few cuisines. So that will be basically null. So in this way the cuisines has been increased in column. So what we can do is we can merge all this into row level. So how do we do that? Then we have to merge the cuisines, pivot. So when we have cuisine 1, we press on control, cuisine 2, cuisine 3 and cuisine 4 are the columns which has been splitted by the delimiter. So we are going to click on transform and unpivot columns. Click on unpivot columns and there you go. So we have the unpivot columns, as in like we have the restaurant as Petit Souffle along with cuisine 1, 2 and 3 which has French, Japanese and desserts, or the next restaurant has Japanese and seafood. So it is the cuisine types. So we can also delete this remove this column because the attribute column is not important, that is the value could be changed as cuisines. So renaming the column would give we have a cuisine. But we can also see that there is the country code next. 162, what this means is there, the answer is there in the next sheet. So we are going to merge these two sheets likewise. So we have to click on the column name and we are going to select on home merge queries and clicking on the second sheet. So the first sheet, clicking on the country code and along with the first sheet as country code and click on OK. It gives us the merged queries and we are going to expand it. So we only need the country as the name. So clicking on the country, we are going to get whatever the country want, and you can also see this is the list of countries which has been listed for. So we can also say the Petit Souffle is to Philippines. 162 here is Philippines. So that has been merged accordingly. Then we can rename this also as countries. So now we have our data ready. So before the data is ready, we also have to see there is a small correction to be made in cuisine since it has been separated by a comma delimiter. We can also see there is a space for a few cuisines. So for example, if we have a heat map in place, so if you put Asian and Asian without a space, or Japanese and Japanese without a space, it would also be detected as two different types of cuisines. In order to avoid that, we can trim, actually if there is any space we can trim uh, the column which has the data. So how do we trim it? We click on transform and then we go to format and we select on trim. So the text has been trimmed so that all the cuisines will be detected accordingly. So then after that we have applied, then we can also see both the sheets has been uploaded as data. So we have all our value attributes.
So how we are going to change this using cuisines, and how it's going to get using filters, slicers, gauge chart, matrices. It would be continued in the next video. Stay tuned, subscribe and follow for more videos. I am that channel.